Wealthy countries donated nearly $120 billion of development assistance in 2009, but in unstable countries, some of that aid may end up being stolen or diverted to arms purchases. Kimberly Russell has more.
Strong diplomatic and foreign policies can help prevent donor countries and organizations from unintentionally funding conflicts. That from Paul Miller, a foreign aid advisor for Catholic Relief Services. Mr. Miller was part of a panel discussion at Johns Hopkins that examined donor effectiveness and development projects. He explains that a lack of sensitivity can also inadvertently spur conflict.
My friend who was in eastern Chad was very pleased that a number of organizations had had a whole celebration for International Women's Day, and all the Chadian women came to celebrate, left their husbands at home. The next day they came back beaten and abused, and again, the men had not been involved in the International Women's Day. A basic of gender sensitivity, but also conflict sensitivity. You have to involve, in this case, the men if you're dealing with some of these gender issues.
Mr. Miller says Catholic Relief Services, which works in 30 countries in Africa, has been successful with its aid efforts because of participation from the local community. However, Mr. Miller explains, CRS also works in risky situations that involve violence or hunger.
That means in situations of war or natural disaster, we want to be there to help. And whether that's after the elections, the last elections in Kenya in 2007, trying to help people who were displaced by the post-election violence, or whether it's in response to drought or floods. My own career in Senegal, it was desert locusts that ate the crops way back when. So we want to be there for people, but we are able to succeed because of our local partners.
Mr. Miller says CRS works in communities to enable them to become self-sustaining. He says many African nations are becoming financially stable and utilizing their skills.
I'm not an Afro-pessimist, I'm an Afro-optimist. There's positive growth in a lot of economies. If we can keep the political and the associational space open, so that Africans can say when they see aid going wrong that they can say it. If that transparency continues in aid as well as in the natural resource area, then I think Africa's great wealth, its human wealth as well as its natural resource wealth, can go to the benefit of its people.
Mr. Miller says employing local staff and diverse workers can help donor and aid organizations do a better job of implementing programs. He says diversity and familiarity provide an environment where conflict is less likely to occur. Kimberly Russell, VOA News.